Okay, so this is video 10 of 12 of these videos over Chongqi Tai Chi postures. I've said this in all the other videos. There's all different kind of variations on these movements, whether you're doing Chang or you're doing any of the other popular styles of Tai Chi. So anyway, that being said, I don't believe that anything that I'm doing is the only way or something like that. I don't really have that kind of attitude. So in this video, we're going to look at fan through the back, right? It's a really common movement. It looks in this way. It's usually coupled with needle at the bottom of the C in a lot of situations, right? So we're going to look at it as a strike, a control, and we're going to look at it with trips. So I feel Fair Lady works with the shuttles is more dealing with a linear attack, and I feel that fan through the back is dealing more with an arcing attack. Again, my personal opinion, and there's plenty of opinions out there, right? So Jonathan is going to throw a large round punch at me like this, right? And as he does, I'm going to move inside, right? He does it again, and look, his body is making this arc, right? In some situations, I could borrow that and use it, right? But as he's turning like this, I'm going to move in a straight line at him. So it's kind of like I'm going to knock him off his track, right? As he goes to pivot, I'm going to use that to my advantage, right? The stability point, I'm going to try to take that from him. So we're just going to do 3 or 4. He's going to full punch off with either hand or whatever, it's irrelevant. And so he swings the punch, right? And this hand here, I'm trying to catch him here, right, on this side of the elbow. Now, I could do it this way if I was doing it more as a driving action, but I don't want this thing to swing around and hit me, right? So I want to catch it on this side of the joint, right? So it does it, and so you want to catch him here. And look, my hand's not flat like this, but it's turned this way, so I can connect more to my hip. If I leave it too much like this, and it's just going to be in my shoulder girdle. Like he pushes in, and I'm going to be fighting with this, right? But if I leave it this way, it's much easier for me to sink that into my feet, right, and down into my body. And this hand here, I don't recommend doing this movement like this, see people holding their hands like that. It's real easy to damage my fingers, right? And in a lot of situations, it's really hard to roll this back. But if I turn it slightly like this, I'll take the pressure out of my joints, my fingers, and I can lay the palm on it in a nice flat line. See what I mean? Like that. And again, I could also use my hand like this and hit him in the throat, right? And really stop him, right? So he does the move, and right? He does the other side. See? And look, you can practice this. I mean, if somebody's really trying to hurt you, if you jam him in the throat, and yeah, you can maybe crush it and stuff like that. But it, more than anything, is probably going to really make him process what he's trying to do, right? So does the punch, right? Does the other side, right? So now, if we look at it with like a control, right? So this is our attachment, right? It's not the end component. I shared this throughout the videos too, that you need to be able to combine your Tai Chi postures together to make it more effective in a situation. Well, one action is not unless you're just the right opportunity or you're just super, super good. There's different variables there, right? But most situations, you're going to need more than one motion, and you need to be able to connect those together. So from a control, right, he does the punch, and from here, I'm not going to just do this as the strike, but I'm going to feed this arm through and capture the arm. Also, come here, and instead of me going that way, I'm going to wrap the arm this way. Also, he throws this, instead of me striking with his hand, I'm either going to come to the side of his head or his neck, right? So as this momentum comes, I pull, I guide him through his own energy action, right? If I want to more lock him, I'm going to use my hand on his head. Now you can throw him from here too. This kind of action is great. And then from here, you can always strip the leg out, etc. And then wrapping the head, right? So there's all kind of variations. I'm just trying to show you some different stuff, right? So go from here, I just check this, and then I'm going to wrap, right? What I mean by that, he throws the punch in. It should be something like that. Like you're not going to go chop like that, right? It's got to be continuous, right? Just like if you're doing your Tai Chi forms, when some people like to have all kind of pauses and hesitations, and then they do the next move, but it's developing that fluidity of being able to move from one posture into another. And this is a great example of where that would translate into an actual application, right? So again, I go boom, grab, lift, right, and dump it, right? So let's look at some of these pieces, right? So if we wrap the arm that way, right? So again, back to the fundamental, right? So it's fan through the back, right? I'm here, right? Now, I'm going to take and put this to my advantage. So that leg is back. It's kind of hard for me to get to, but this one here, right? So I'm going to use this two directions, right? So close it here, and look, I'm going to wrap it, and I'm going to have to shuffle in because the leg's too far back, right? No, it's not. I'm going to bring this leg in, and then hook, and then rock it, right? Same situation, right? He punches off the rear hand, and here, and then look, I'm just going to change this. This hand's going to come here, and this one is going to wrap this arm if I can, or into his waist, right? And then I'm going to hook this leg. So from here, I'm going to hook it with this leg. Be careful of your knees. Yes, yeah. So this movement. Your knee's a hinge, goes this way. This will blow the dude's knee out, okay? So be very careful if you decide to practice it. Same thing, like I can come this way and look, crunch. I'll take the ankle, or the knee. When you're doing throws or trips, you have to be very conscientious of the other person. It's easy to damage an ankle, a knee, the hip, the back, or the shoulder. It's very beneficial to learn it, but at the same time, you have to be conscious of yourself, or you hurt yourself or someone else. So same thing, right? So instead of me wrapping and going this way, I'm going to go the other way, right? So as this happens, I'm going to step and I bring this in. It's like I'm trying to, you can think I'm going to lock this joint, or I'm not really locking this joint, but I can kind of move him, right? I've seized hold of this. Like if you're doing squat chow or something like judo or something like that, where you have this apparel to attach to, sometimes it's easier, but we want to try our best to work without a jacket so we can really understand and feel grips, right? So does it again, I come here and I wrap and I want to step, and as I do, I'm going to take that leg. Let's move over here just a little bit. Right, so come here, I wrap, I step, and kick him out. Step. And one more time. So he comes, and look, I'm going to step, I wrap, and look, I wouldn't like pause and then do this. We're trying to fundamentally show this thing, but it would be more explosive, right? Like this. Here, and then you want to use what you have. If there's no energy, being no resistance, then you go through it, right? Same move, but I'm going to borrow. I'm not going to neutralize it. Like he throws the punch, right? I'm kind of dissolving it, right? Or neutralizing the force of that move by destabilizing him. This time we're going to borrow it, right? So as as he's swinging a punch, I do my fan to the back to get my attachment, and all I do is step. You can also use the leg to trip him in the same situation. We'll do one more of each, right? So he does it, and I catch, rolling out. If I do it with a leg, I'm just going to do leg lift. There's all kind of other versions of this, right? So here's my attachment, right? And as he keeps moving, I move. Right? So he does it again, and this isn't Aikido, right? So I don't need him to run at me like a crazy person or put a full maximum effort to practice the movement. But you still should be able to see that you can use his timing to make it work. So again, he throws the punch and that should rip him out. If I go, say he throws 2 punches, right? Say 2 round punches. Yeah, I don't care. 1, 2, right? I can do it like that, which again, this is a really good self-defense move, right? Again, he tries to grab me to put his hands on me and round punches. Oh, no. I don't have to do anything crazy, right? I don't have to do like that to make it work. I just need to move, right? And if the more you do Tai Chi, in the beginning you're just trying to coordinate hands and feet, right? Later it becomes about the waist, and the waist is moving more than the arms. If you see what I'm saying, like I wouldn't have time, like if I'm just doing this with my arms, it would take me a lot longer to try to do this, to try to generate any force on it. But if I'm just using my body, right? You see what I'm saying? Like this again. And I don't lock this out, right? I just need to use the force of my body. And so it speeds up the movement. Just my personal opinion. So there's a whole bunch more with fan through the back. It's a great self-defense move. And if you just practice it with your partner, or you got people in the school you're working with or whatever, but this is a super common move for somebody to try to swing on you and hit you like this. And the more you can charge him back, right? He does it to me. I want to get a really good, develop really good reaction skills to doing that. And then if I learn it as a strike, as an attachment to a seizing action, and then being able to do the trips and stuff like that, I can really flesh out the movement. So anyway, so this is end of this video 10, and we got 2 more that we'll do the next few days to get these processed and get them done. But again, fan through the back is a good move. Thanks for watching.